Eritrea. Eritrea, officially the State of Eritrea, is a country in East Africa situated in the Horn of Africa, with its capital at Asmara. It is bordered by Sudan in the west, Ethiopia in the south, and Djibouti in the southeast. The northeastern and eastern parts of Eritrea have an extensive coastline along the Red Sea. The nation has a total area of approximately 117,600 square kilometers, 45,406 square miles, and includes the Dahlak Archipelago. Eritrea is a multi-ethnic country, with 9 recognized ethnic groups in its population of around 5.5 million. Eritrea has 9 national languages, which are Tigrinya language, Tigre, Afar, Beja, Bilen, Kunama, Nara, Saho. Tigrinya, Arabic, and English serve as the 3 working languages. Most residents speak languages from the Afroasiatic family, either of the Ethiopian Semitic languages or Cushitic branches. Among these communities, the Tigrinyas make up about 55% of the population, with the Tigre people constituting around 30% of inhabitants. In addition, there are a number of Nilo-Saharan-speaking Nilotic ethnic minorities. Most people in the territory adhere to Christianity or Islam, with a small minority adhering to traditional faiths. The Kingdom of Aksum, covering much of modern-day Eritrea and northern Ethiopia, was established during the 1st or 2nd centuries AD. It adopted Christianity around the middle of the 4th century. In medieval times, much of Eritrea fell under the Medri-Bari kingdom, with a smaller region being part of Hamasien. The creation of modern-day Eritrea as a result of the incorporation of independent, distinct kingdoms, for example, Medri-Bari and the Sultanate of Assa, eventually resulting in the formation of Italian Eritrea. After the defeat of the Italian colonial army in 1942, Eritrea was administered by the British military administration until 1952. Following the UN General Assembly decision, in 1952, Eritrea would govern itself with a local Eritrean parliament, but for foreign affairs and defense it would enter into a federal status with Ethiopia for a period of 10 years. However, in 1962 the government of Ethiopia annulled the Eritrean parliament and formally annexed Eritrea, but the Eritreans who had argued for complete Eritrean independence since the ouster of the Italians in 1941 anticipated what was coming and, in 1961, organized the Eritrean Liberation Front in opposition. In 1991, after 30 years of continuous armed struggle for independence, the Eritrean liberation fighters entered the capital city, Asmara, in victory. The sovereign state is a totalitarian one-party dictatorship in which national legislative and presidential elections have never been held since independence. According to Human Rights Watch, the Eritrean government's human rights record is among the worst in the world. The Eritrean government has dismissed these allegations as politically motivated. The compulsory military service requires long, indefinite conscription periods, 6.5 years on average, which some Eritreans leave the country to avoid. Because all local media is state-owned, Eritrea was also ranked as having the 3rd least press freedom in the Global Press Freedom Index, behind North Korea and Turkmenistan. The sovereign state of Eritrea is a member of the African Union, the United Nations, and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, and is an observer state in the Arab League alongside Brazil, Venezuela, and Turkey. Etymology of Eritrea. The name Eritrea is derived from the ancient Greek name for the Red Sea. It was first formally adopted in 1890, with the formation of Italian Eritrea, Colonia Eritrea. The name persisted over the course of subsequent British and Ethiopian occupation and was reaffirmed by the 1993 independence referendum and 1997 constitution. History of Eritrea. Beja in Eritrea, one of the oldest hominids representing a possible link between Homo erectus and an archaic Homo sapiens, was found by Italian-dated scientists. To over 1 million year old, it is the oldest skeletal find of its kind and provides a link between hominids and the earliest anatomically modern humans. It is believed that the section of the Danakil Depression in Eritrea was also a major player in terms of human evolution, and may contain other traces of evolution from Homo erectus hominids to anatomically modern humans. During the last interglacial period, the Red Sea coast of Eritrea was occupied by early anatomically modern humans. It is believed that the area was on the route out of Africa that some scholars suggest was used by early humans to colonize the rest of the Old World. In 1999, the Eritrean research project team composed of Eritrean, Canadian, American, Dutch, and French scientists discovered a Paleolithic site with stone and obsidian tools dated to over 125,000 years old near the Bay of Zula south of Massawa, along the Red Sea littoral. The tools are believed to have been used by early humans to harvest marine resources such as clams and oysters. Geography of Eritrea. Eritrea is located in the Horn of Africa in East Africa. It is bordered to the northeast and east by the Red Sea, Sudan to the west, Ethiopia to the south, and Djibouti to the southeast. Eritrea lies between latitudes 12 degrees and 18 degrees north, and longitudes 36 degrees and 44 degrees east. The country is virtually bisected by a branch of the East African Rift. Eritrea, at the southern end of the Red Sea, is the home of the fork in the rift. The Dahlak Archipelago and its fishing grounds are situated off the sandy and arid coastline. Eritrea can be split into 3 ecoregions. To the east of the highlands are the hot, arid coastal plains stretching down to the southeast of the country. The cooler, more fertile highlands, reaching up to 3,000 meters, have a different habitat. Habitats here vary from the subtropical rainforest at Filfil Solomona to the precipitous cliffs and canyons of the southern highlands. The Afar Triangle or Danakil Depression of Eritrea is the probable location of a triple junction where 3 tectonic plates are pulling away from one another. The highest point of the country, Emba Soira, is located in the center of Eritrea, at 3,018 meters (9,902 feet) above sea level. The main cities of the country are the capital city of Asmara and the port town of Aseb in the southeast, as well as the towns of Massawa to the east, the northern town of Keren, and the central town Mendefera. Eritrea is part of a 14-nation constituency within the Global Environment Facility, which partners with international institutions, civil society organizations, and the private sector to address global environmental issues while supporting national sustainable development initiatives. Local variability in rainfall patterns and/or reduced precipitation is known to occur, which may precipitate soil erosion, floods, droughts, land degradation, and desertification. In 2006, Eritrea also announced that it would become the first country in the world to turn its entire coast into an environmentally protected zone. The 1,347 kilometers (837 miles) coastline, along with another 1,946 kilometers (1,209 miles) of coast around its more than 350 islands, will come under governmental protection. Climate of Eritrea. Based on variations in temperature, Eritrea can be broadly divided into 3 major climate zones: the temperate zone, subtropical climate zone, and tropical climate zone. The climate of Eritrea is shaped by its diverse topographical features and its location within the tropics. The diversity in landscape and topography in the highlands and lowlands of Eritrea result in the diversity of climate across the country. The highlands have temperate climate throughout the year. The climate of most lowland zones is arid and semi-arid. The distribution of rainfall and vegetation types varies markedly throughout the country. Eritrean climate varies on the basis of seasonal and altitudinal differences. Government and politics of Eritrea. The People's Front for Democracy and Justice (PFDJ) is the only legal party in Eritrea. Other political groups are not allowed to organize, although the unimplemented Constitution of 1997 provides for the existence of multi-party politics. The National Assembly has 150 seats. National elections have been periodically scheduled and cancelled, none have ever been held in the country. President Isaias Afwerki has been in office since independence in 1993. In 1993, 75 representatives were elected to the National Assembly, the rest are appointed. As the report by the UN Human Rights Council explained, no national elections have taken place since that time, and no presidential elections have ever taken place. Local or regional elections have not been held since 2003-2004. President Isaias Afwerki has regularly expressed his disdain for what he refers to as Western-style democracy. In a 2008 interview with Al Jazeera, for example, the president stated that Eritrea will wait 3 or 4 decades, maybe more, before it holds elections. Who knows? Military in Eritrea. The Eritrean Defense Forces are now the official armed forces of the State of Eritrea. Eritrea's military is one of the largest in Africa. Compulsory military service was instituted in 1995. Officially, conscripts, male and female, must serve for 18 months, which includes 6 months of military training and 12 months doing the regular school year to complete their last year of high school. Thus around 5% of Eritreans live in barracks in the desert doing projects such as road building as part of their service. The National Service Proclamation of 1995 does not recognize the right to conscientious objection to military service. According to the 1957 Ethiopian Penal Code adopted by Eritrea during independence, failure to enlist in the military or refusal to perform military service are punishable with imprisonment terms of 6 months to 5 years and up to 10 years, respectively. National service enlistment times may be extended during times of national crisis. Since 1998, everyone under the age of 50 is enlisted in national service for an indefinite period until released, which may depend on the arbitrary decision of a commander. In a study of 200 escaped conscripts, the average service was 6.5 years, and some had served more than 12 years. Economy of Eritrea. The economy of Eritrea has experienced considerable growth in recent years, indicated by an annual improvement in the gross domestic product (GDP) with over 5% in recent years, some years up to 8.7%. A big reason for the recent growth of the Eritrean economy is the commencement of full operations in the gold and silver Beja mine and the production of cement from the cement factory in Massawa. The real GDP 2020 est. $8.1 billion, and the annual growth rate 2020 est, about 6%. The GDP PPP 2020 est. $11.3 billion. Worker remittances from abroad are estimated to account for 32% of gross domestic product. Eritrea has an extensive amount of resources such as copper, gold, granite, marble, and potash. The Eritrean economy has undergone extreme changes due to the War of Independence. In 2011, Eritrea's GDP grew by 8.7%, making it one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. 80% of the Eritrean workforces are employed in agriculture. Eritrea's main agricultural products include sorghum, millet, barley, wheat, legumes, vegetables, fruits, sesame, linseed, cattle, sheep, goats and camels. The Eritrean-Ethiopian War severely hurt Eritrea's economy. GDP growth in 1999 fell to less than 1%, and GDP decreased by 8.2% in 2000. In May 2000, the war resulted in some $600 million in property damage and loss, including losses of $225 million in livestock and 55,000 homes. Even during the war, Eritrea developed its transportation infrastructure by asphalting new roads, improving its ports, and repairing war-damaged roads and bridges as a part of the We Free Warsay Yikalo program. The most significant of these projects was the construction of a coastal highway of more than 500 kilometers connecting Massawa with Aseb, as well as the rehabilitation of the Eritrean Railway. The rail line has been restored between the port of Massawa and the capital Asmara, although services are sporadic. Steam locomotives are sometimes used for groups of enthusiasts. In theory, Eritrea has a national carrier, Eritrean Airlines, but services are intermittent. Languages of Eritrea. Eritrea is a multilingual country. The nation has no official language, as the constitution establishes the equality of all Eritrean languages. Eritrea has 9 national languages, which are Tigrinya language, Tigre, Afar, Beja, Bilen, Kunama, Nara, Saho. Tigrinya, Arabic, and English serve as de facto working languages, with the latter used in university education and many technical fields. While Italian, the former colonial language, holds no government-recognized status in Eritrea, it is spoken by a few monolinguals, and Asmara has Scuola Italiana di Asmara, a long-running Italian government-operated school. Also, native Eritreans assimilated the language of the Italian Eritreans and spoke a version of Italian mixed with many Tigrinya words, Eritrean Italian. Tigrinya serves as the de facto language of national identity. With 2,540,000 total speakers of a population of 5,254,000 in 2006, it is the most widely spoken language, particularly in the southern and central parts of Eritrea. Most of the languages spoken in Eritrea belong to the Ethiopian Semitic branch of the Afroasiatic family. Other Afroasiatic languages belonging to the Cushitic branch are also widely spoken in the country. The latter include Afar, Beja, Bilen, and Saho. In addition, Nilo-Saharan languages, Kunama and Nara, are spoken as a native language by the Nilotic Kunama and Nara ethnic minority groups that live in the northern and northwestern part of the country. Smaller groups also speak other Afroasiatic languages, such as the newly recognized Dahlak and Arabic, the Hijazi and Hadrami dialects spoken by the Rashida and Hadrami, respectively. Education in Eritrea. There are 5 levels of education in Eritrea: pre-primary, primary, middle, secondary, and post-secondary. There are nearly 1,270,000 students in the primary, middle, and secondary levels of education. There are approximately 824 schools, 2 universities, the University of Asmara and the Eritrea Institute of Technology, and several smaller colleges and technical schools. Education in Eritrea is officially compulsory for children aged 6 to 13 years. Statistics vary at the elementary level, suggesting that 70% to 90% of school-aged children attend primary school, approximately 61% attend secondary school. Student-teacher ratios are high, 45:1 at the elementary level and 54:1 at the secondary level. Class sizes average 63 and 97 students per classroom at the elementary and secondary school levels, respectively. Learning hours at school are often less than 6 hours per day. Barriers to education in Eritrea include traditional taboos, school fees for registration and materials, and the opportunity costs of low-income households. The Eritrea Institute of Technology (EIT) is a technological institute located near the town Himberti, Mai Nefhai outside Asmara. The institute has 3 colleges: science, engineering and technology, and education. The institute began with about 5,500 students during the 2003-2004 academic years. The overall literacy rate in Eritrea is 84%. However, the literacy rate is higher for ages 18 to 24 years. It is 92.6% for men and 87.7% for women, 2008 to 2012. Sport in Eritrea. Football and cycling are the most popular sports in Eritrea. In recent years, Eritrean athletes have also seen increasing success in the international arena. Zershene Tadesse, an Eritrean athlete, formerly held the world record in the half marathon. Girmay Gebrselassie became the first Eritrean to win a gold medal at a World Championships in athletics for his country when he took the marathon at the 2015 World Championships. Eritrea made Winter Olympic debut the 25th of February 2018 when they competed at the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea 2018. Eritrea's team was represented by their flag bearer Shannon Ogbnai Abida, who competed as an alpine skier. The Tour of Eritrea, a multi-stage cycling event, is held annually since 1946 throughout the country. Cycling has a long tradition in Eritrea and was first introduced during the colonial period. More than 6 Eritrean riders have signed professional contracts to international cycling teams, including Natanel Burhan and Daniel Teklahaimano. Burhan was named African Sportsman of the Year in 2013, while Teklahaimano became the first Eritrean to ride the Vuelta a España in 2012. In 2015, Teklahaimano won the King of the Mountains classification in the Criterium du Dauphiné. Teklahaimano and fellow Eritrean Merhawi Kudus became the first black cyclists from Africa to compete in the Tour de France, when they were selected by the Mountain Kebika team for the 2015 edition of the race. In July of the year, Teklahaimano also became the first rider from an African team to wear the polka dot jersey at the Tour de France. The Eritrea national cycling team has experienced a lot of success, winning the African Continental Cycling Championship several years in a row. The national cycling teams of both men and women are ranked first on the African continent and ranked among one of the best cycling nations in the world. In 2013, the women's team won the gold medal in the African Continental Cycling Championships for the first time, and for the second time in 2015 and third time in 2019. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, click on like button. If you want to watch more videos like this, click on the subscription button below, it's free subscription.